you've been up to and the fact that you're on these college campus tours. And to your point, man, you just open up. I mean, you're like, ask me anything.
Anything.
Challenge me,
whatever.
When did this whole thing? When did you start putting this together?
I've been at this for 30.
There's no way that Kirk advocates for anything close to moderating his side. Why not follow his example? You're dead wrong. Kirk would absolutely. He wouldn't say it publicly because he's not a moron. But dude, Bannon, listen to Bannon. Listen to these guys. Listen to the smart ones behind closed doors. Listen to the smart ones behind. Remember that leaked call? Bannon leaked call Chinese media. Who published this? Was it Vox or Mother Jones? They know, they know. And they see the weak, and he's so good at identifying the weakness on the other side, right? There's a Steve Bannon in 2020, I think, or was this 2016? No, this might have been 2020, I think. Obama always got the grief, not Biden. Biden's just a glad hander. This is the first time he's been attacked, and his staff is not very tough. That's why, remember, we hammered this guy every day for 10 days with the worst pictures in the world. Drug addict, taking money from the CCP, from Chinese spies, no response, nothing. And the negatives just keep going up because people are sitting there going, I didn't know that about Joe Biden, but nobody, not one person, came out and said, those pictures are not true, right? Nobody came out and said anything you're saying is not true, even the wildest allegations, because the Biden guys didn't know, because what we did is we held back the documents. And they're smart enough to know if I go out and defend Biden against Lude and Bannon and these guys drop a bunch of money transfers and documents, I'm gone. And Biden hasn't told me the truth because Biden, they know what's on that server. They've got it up in the cloud. They know what we have. But he made a fundamental decision that stopped his momentum. When Trump got COVID and when Trump had that first debate, within that 1 week period, Biden could have put him away. The campaign would have been over. Biden would have won with 500 electoral votes, but they didn't do it, and we were able to stop them. So now I'm not saying Trump's going to win, but we have a fighting chance. So when Trump got COVID, Trump kept working from the hospital and also Bannon. Well, remember, for 40% of the country who loved Trump, we loved it, he kept working. But remember, if you put TV on, he's a super spreader. He doesn't care. The one thing that's hurt him in people above 65 years old, which used to be our strength, he's down 20 points. And the reason is the above 65-year-olds, they don't think he's taking they agree with you. They think it's a biological weapon and they'd like to be treated, and they'd like it to be treated like that. Trump treats it like it's a hoax. I mean, Trump, he treats it like it's, and they're sitting there going, if you get it, if you're over 65, you basically think you're going to die, right? Painfully, right? So Trump's biggest drop is not in suburban women. His single biggest drop is it's the reason Arizona and Florida are tight because they're the two biggest retirement communities we have. The reason we won in Arizona and Florida in 2016 is that we have the above 65-year-old vote. 25% of those people who are now going to vote for Biden, or they're going to vote against Trump because they don't think he's taking this seriously. And the other thing is that he's pushing a vaccine. Remember, you have a huge amount of fans who say it's a biological weapon. There's no vaccine, so therefore, whatever you're taking, it's just a variation of the pharmaceutical voodoo that the CCP is pushing, okay? Okay, so here's the problem. He's like a little boy. He thinks the vaccines are magic. He believes Bill Gates. He believes the big pharma guys. That's what he talks about. Today, he was talking about, we're rounding the turn. We've got a vaccine that's coming in 3 weeks. A lot of people are sitting there going, I hear Dr. Yan, she says there's no vaccine. It's poison. No, seriously. If he took your position, it was a biological weapon or just came from the lab in a gain of function experiment. In China, the CCP is going to be held accountable. And there's no vaccine, but you use therapeutics like hydroxychloroquine, he would win in a landslide, but he didn't do that. And one of the reasons is the people around him have put it in his head, big pharma's got a thing here. The other guys, remember, part of his staff say it's a hoax. Part of his staff say it's no worse than the flu, it's just a hoax, and so it's crazy. He goes through a lot of he talks about the Gold Star family. Go back to 2016. The problem with Trump, he gets off message. Remember in 2016 when I came in and he was attacking the Muslim family? Remember the Khans? Remember the Khan family that had the son that died and he was Muslim? And he keeps attacking these Muslims that have a war hero son that's buried in Arlington National Cemetery. I mean, she's a Gold Star mother. In our country, there's nothing higher than a Gold Star mother. That means your child died in combat. It is sacred. Trump's attacking her, right? Because they attacked him from the thing, and he couldn't know. I said, you can't attack them. They're heroes, right? I said, you got to attack Clinton. That's who you've got to attack. It's like, here, Sleepy Joe, he never drove up Biden's negatives. It was only when we got the hard drive and got it to you guys, the Post and blah, 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 and all that. Yeah. But like I'm just saying, somebody's like, they never moderate their side. They do moderate their side, but they don't moderate it for moral decency or values or any bullshit like that. They just moderate it for political effectiveness. What they're always trying to identify on the right is what is the most politically effective messaging, and then whatever that is, that's what they lean hardest into. So, and I'm not saying you don't have to sell your soul to do this. I'm just saying you have to be politically pragmatic. There is no virtue in losing all of your elections over and over again.
Yeah, like
and think about this. Again, and this goes along with the joke that I've said. Actually, you know what? It's good for me to rewatch this too now because I've thought so much more about all this. Think about this, right? Republicans will tell you with a straight face, the 2016 election, they tried to rig it and they failed. 2020 election, they rigged it and they succeeded. 2024, they're going to try and rig it again. And what do? They still go out and they vote as much as they possibly can, no matter what. They always show up to try and vote, no matter the fuck what. Even when Trump is saying it's going to be rigged, even when they say the mail-in ballots are going to rig everything, even when they can't get rid of them, they'll still show up. They still show up, right? What do Republicans say over and over again? The schools are lost. It's hopeless. You can never radicalize these people. You're young when you're liberal. You get conservative when you're older, right? But what do they do behind the scenes? What are they actually doing? Well, fuck, I don't know. Can we move the youth vote? And then these fuckers, this guy is Charlie Kirk is either a college or a high school dropout. I don't even remember which one. It doesn't even have any like educational background. Seriously, I feel like you're living in an insane bubble. What Dem campaign has ever run on unrestricted, non-compromised positions? Where is this a reality? It's not a reality. Democrats don't run on those positions. That's the issue, though, is that somehow the messaging ends up looking that way. And we need to ask ourselves, what's going on there? How does that happen? I think that Bernie Sanders, he's definitely to the left of me, but I don't think Bernie Sanders was an insane, cucked, crazy to the left politician. But how are you getting circumstances where, I think this was 2016, right? Like shit like this should never, ever, 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 ever happen.
With your presence.
This is as far as Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders got into his Social Security speech at Westlake Park.
Thank you, Seattle, for being one of the most progressive cities in the United States of America.
Moments later, Black Lives Matter activists rushed the stage.
We are trying. We're gonna let you on the mic.
Activists who last year shut down a holiday tree lighting in the same park today prevented the most progressive candidate for president from speaking to thousands of people who
he stands back and he lets them do the whole thing, and then he leaves. He doesn't even get to do his shit.
To hear him.
I came here to join this rally and watch what was going on, not to listen to somebody take over the stage.
As the crowd called for activists to step aside, Sanders waited patiently.
Like everybody on the left, and it's not just Bernie. Sometimes the left, like I'll give, like Biden and Kamala, I'll give them a little bit of props for, disavowing the violence on the BLM stuff, but the position needs to be much stronger. There needs to be no guesswork. You need to be able to punch back against people when they accuse you of supporting stuff. He's like, no, I didn't. I think that shit is cringe as fuck. And just be able to say that instead of trying to very carefully weave and navigate. And it's like, no, just fuck these people. These people are crazy. Position of political power here is willing to harm people. They are universally okay with hurting people. They're literally holding up signs to do mass deportations. They've got fucking hate boners as a unifying force. The Dems aren't unified on something like this. Yeah, because the problem is the Dems won't unify around their party because the messengers are too radical. So they're trying to unify with a side of people that isn't politically relevant, right? If you're walking around screaming about ACAB and shit, you've allowed a far left constituency that doesn't represent a significant portion of your party to dictate your messaging that's losing your base. You're not even fighting with conservatives at that point. You're fighting with your own fucking party because you got a bunch of non-voting retarded minority dipshits, minority of the party, who are screaming that we need to defund all the cops in the United States. Nobody likes this. Even the Democratic base doesn't like this. And so you're trying to compromise in your messaging between your base and your far left constituents who are politically ineffective. And that's not even like, you haven't even started to ask like, well, what do like independent voters in the US think? Or can we peel away any center right vote? Like, you're not even at that point yet. You're trying to contend with the far left alternative media that doesn't even represent more than a fraction of your party. It's unhinged. It's insane. By the term high or low trust, just your default on how you would feel about messaging or things about that particular thing. So like Democrats, I think we're low trust of government related stuff, at least, especially in the era of the Iraq war and everything like that, right? Like we hated the government. We didn't trust anything that came from Bush or anything else. You had the whole housing crisis that was a disaster. And then as, for whatever reason, maybe COVID and the vaccines, prior to that, maybe like the ACA with, Obamacare, Democrats started to, and then with the education gap growing wider and wider, just by virtue, I think like Charlie Kirk said, just by virtue of being in school, you're probably going to trust institutions a little bit more because you're literally participating in one. Then the divide starts to grow and you become more high trust. You kind of by default trust these institutions as part of American society more. And then conservatives are losing trust because they're getting further and further away from these. They don't go to college as often. They, for a variety of reasons, for people like Charlie Kirk included, poison their minds against things like the CDC and the NIH and everything. So
you don't want to belabor that.
Like one example of this, I try not to bully these guys, even though they and I guess their whole audience does now think I fucking hate them. I don't fucking hate Dean, and I don't fucking hate Parker. I don't hate these people. I just think they made some cringe decisions or whatever. But was Dean the one on? Oh my God. Where's the clip? Was it Dean or was it Parker who was like freaking the fuck out because like Andrew Wilson said retarded? Anybody have a link to that clip?
You're a Christian.
Oh my God. Are we coming back to reply videos on YouTube? Where am I? How old is this? 20 years old? 18 years old? Remember? Oh, where are my millennials at? Was this the moment? Hold on.
I don't understand. I don't understand, Parker. When a friend of yours comes over and he says something to you, like you're in private, and he's like, "Hey, hand me that," and he tosses it and you miss it, and he goes, "You retard." You literally stop you go, "Don't say that. It's very offensive." Do you say that? It's very offensive. I really don't like it when you say, do you dress him down, Parker? If you have someone who calls you a retard in a friendly way?
I'm sorry, my mic cut out, so I couldn't hear you.
I want to post something to Andrew.
If you have a friend, shut up, Danny. If you have a friend, Parker, and your buddy comes over and he like tosses you something and you drop it and he's like, you retard. You dress him down? Do you go, "I can't believe it. You called me a retard"? Why?
Yes,
that's hurting other people's feelings. But who's around, Parker? Who's around to be offended except you? Who's around to be offended but you?
That doesn't change whether or not I think it's wrong.
Yeah, so I don't understand.
Let Danny respond. Danny?
I want to give Andrew a hypothetical. Suppose there's this unknown society where if you show this signal, everyone's extremely offended. They'll get very angry.
Fuck, I don't even think this is the clip I'm looking for. Am I thinking of a different clip? Does anybody remember? Doesn't he stop him and say, "Can you please call this the R slur?" Or am I making this up? And Andrew Wilson is like, "We're not talking about actually retarded people." 37 minutes. Return of the R word debate. Oh, is it in here? Hold on.
Joe Rogan. I'm going to start with you, Jay, on this. This is Joe Rogan talking about the R word.
It's one of these retarded shows where they're screaming. There's the word again. We brought it. Yeah. We were just talking about that. The word retarded is back, and it's one of the great culture victories that I think is spurred on probably by podcast.
Now, Jay, is it a great moment, a great cultural victory?
I don't know how to explain this, but there is or I guess actually now the kids use aura. Okay. There's a way where somebody says, "Do you not like the word retarded? Do you think that's a bad word to use? Like, would you tell a friend that you don't like?" And the response is, "Yeah, personally, I think it's kind of shitty to use that word, so I just tell people not to use it." And then that's it. That's all you have to say. That's it. And then you move on. And that's it. And you look cool, and it's fine. You think it's not cool? It's like, okay, that's it. But not like, "I think using the R slur is one of the worst." It's like, no. You know what we need here? Do you know what you actually need here? In this video, I drop an N-bomb. Big one. Hard R. I did this to show my interlocutors that their language doesn't impress me, that their slurs don't frighten or disarm me. You can see from their reactions that it worked. They were clearly taken aback. It was a power move, which I am entirely unashamed of. But I understand how that language might have upset some of you. This is an example of what I would call an invocation of a slur's power for good, but that's a subjective judgment. I invite you all to discuss this in the comments, critically or otherwise. Tactical slurs, okay? This is what we need. Unironically, though. Like, Jesus.
The R word is back, which obviously is
short for it's retarded, it's mentally retarded, it's for people who are mentally impaired. It was used in a derogatory way against people who are mentally impaired. Why would that be a cultural victory to bring that back?
Well, I'm a big fan of the R word because I myself act retarded all the time, and I'm proud of it. In fact, I would actually probably get retarded tattooed across my back because I think it is a cultural victory. I'd love to be able to say what's on my mind. I think, yeah, I mean, well, these guys are retarded as an example. So we have panelists that are retarded. So yeah, I love the R word. I'm rated R totally. And I think that it's a freeing thing. It's a way to express the way we express things in the 80s and the 90s without problem. You can go watch Bill Murray comedy movies and they're great because
but people used to people used to use the N word, 30, 40 years ago, right? But then
I champion all the comedians.
But that became something that was taboo in society because it was deemed to be very offensive to black people. The R word, the use of the R word is deemed to be very offensive to people who are genuinely mentally impaired, and they don't like it.
He's making a soy face, like he's like freaking out over there.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you just said it's
justified. There's a difference between taboo and what's wrong, morally wrong. I don't equate the two.
All right, Parker, your response.
So here's my question. Do you think that Jesus would say the N-word, and do you think Jesus would say the R slur?
Jesus does say jokes and slurs in the Gospels, yes. He talks about...
Does Jesus say slurs in the Gospel? Wait, is that true? Wait, I didn't get the base version. The New England James, what do they call it? The King James version of the slur Gospels? What the fuck? Yeah, these are in the Gnostic Gospels? Fuck me, dude.
Jesus would say the R slur
in the equivalents in his day.
So Jesus would say the N-word and the R slur.
He calls people dogs in reference to you guys' advice.
Parker, do people in your friendship group ever use the R word?
No, never.
It's just a taboo word.
It's okay.
Yes, I think it's incredibly wrong to use. You shouldn't use it.
People in your friend group use the R word.
And out of interest, Parker, what is your rationale personally for not using it?
I think it's incredibly harmful. In the same way that we don't use other sorts of slurs because they're harmful, I think that we shouldn't use this word because it's harmful.
Hurt my feelings, should you not argue?
So, no, specifically, we're saying it meets a threshold of harm, right? Because the R slur and
my threshold.
So
subjective.
Like, you got to find better ways to talk about this. Like, it meets a threshold of harm. Like, especially, remember, people, place, platform. I always mix my P's up. Policy, platform, whatever, right? Who are you talking to? Okay, you're talking to the conservatives here and the audience of Piers Morgan. Okay, who are you talking? What are you talking about? The R slur. Okay. And where are you? Right, you're on a Piers Morgan show. Okay. In my personal opinion, if you were strategizing for this moment, I guess, like I would just say, like I said before, although I don't care, I think the R word is base. I love retards. Like, a really easy out for this is to say something along the line, even if you have to make it up. Like, I had a friend growing up who was injured in a sporting event, and he became mentally impaired. A lot of people bullied him, called him retarded. I don't know, when I hear that word, it makes me feel kind of bad. I don't like it when people use it around me. Like, that's my position on it, and I don't want to use it. Like, just like a short, simple story like that. It illustrates the point so well. And who the fuck is going to argue against you? Like, who's going to be the guy to be like, who can, like, even if you don't win the argument against the other person, because these guys aren't going to admit it, at least somebody listening to you could be like, okay, I get it, I guess, right? And if you want to be more aggressive, you can flip it, right? Would you, if you knew a dad who had a child with special needs, like, would you say retarded around them all the time if they said it made them a little uncomfortable? You can do this in ways where it's like, just be cool. Just be cool about it, okay? You don't have to, this is reaching a minimum threshold of harm that is damaging community. It's like, bro, it's probably not. If everybody said retarded, we would still be okay, all right? We would still be okay. We'd survive, you know?
That's a subjective argument. So it's only your personal subjective taste.
We're obviously
if it's your personal subjective taste, then it can also be mine.
Okay, well then, Parker, it doesn't reach our threshold, Parker.
All right, Andrew,
it doesn't reach our threshold, Parker.
I understand, Andrew. That would be your perspective on the matter, but given my perspective, I would say that meets my threshold. Are you saying it's okay to use the N-word, Andrew?
And it's subjective, and it doesn't work as an argument.
Wait,
Parker. Is it ever okay to use the word retard?
No. Is it okay for you to use the N-word?
Is it even okay to use the word retard to reference the word retard?
I think it's wrong to use it in general. Can you please?
Like, why? Like, wait, really? Even the referential argument you can't say? Wait, what? Like, if Andrew was really going for a kill shot, or maybe he'll say that, no, he doesn't, because I've seen this, I think I've seen the next like 20 seconds. Andrew should say, is it unethical to put slurs in the dictionary? What do you think these guys would say? Are you allowed to put slurs in the dictionary? I'm genuinely curious how they would respond to that.
Can you answer my question? And I'll answer yours, I promise.
I said it's
wrong. Is it okay to refer to the word retard if you're explaining the word retard?
Say R slur.
So you can't, okay, so you can't even use, so just the word itself. Okay, so here's the thing that's so funny about this, right? It's like, ultimately, when we say retarded, so I wouldn't use the N-word. Here's why. When I say, if somebody says the N-word, what ends up ultimately happening, there's not really too much in the way of equivocation there. Retard is not actually referring to retarded people, though. Basically, ever. Nobody ever says it, Parker, to refer to somebody who's actually retarded.
That doesn't change it. Wait, hold on. If you're using N-word to refer to a white person, it's still wrong. Would you use the N-word to refer to a white person?
I mean, in some circumstances, I think that you can use it in a comedic sense. That's hilarious.
And like, bro, like, who cares? Oh my God.
Sure.
You think white people using the N-word is okay in any circumstance?
Yeah, comedic senses especially. I think
that's disgusting as fuck. You do it.
Oh my God.
Like, is it? Like, I think lynching is disgusting as fuck. I think that like racial discrimination, like, but if you sing a rap song, is that just disgusting? Like, I don't know. I just feel like there's no, but whatever. Who knows? Whatever.
Well, is that an argument? Is that an argument, Parker?
Wait, me calling something disgusting because I think it goes against my moral
you think it's disgusting? Okay, right. Homosexuality is disgusting because it goes against my moral.
Let me bring in Danny.
Can I respond?
Hang on.
Whatever. Issues. What crazy stuff? The trans athlete shit should have been ejected immediately. That's the easiest like give me in the world. Why the fuck would you ever fight on that ground that trans people can compete in the exact same manner as cisgender people? That's the stupidest thing in the world. So that's one thing that gets ejected immediately. There should have been an immediate hardcore ejection and disavowal from all the insane black professors who were talking about that assassinating white people shit. I couldn't believe I was reading that shit. Was this in this was even prior, I think, to all the BLM stuff, right? Was this in 2017, 18? What was the professor who was, I think it was an Ivy League professor who was giving a speech about how, like, what am I thinking of? If I had 5 bullets in my revolver, I'd kill 5 white people. But it was just unhinged shit. It was like, this should be stuff that is nuclear, like radioactive. Like, you should be nowhere near this stuff. And it should be the easiest, immediate disavowal, not like talking around it. It's just like eject, like cringe shit like this. These cringe narratives are just so quick and easy to get rid of. And it's just so much time wasted on this stuff. Right? That was horrible for us. Oh my God, bro. These people, that was just Jesus Christ, dude.
These colors, like, where'd that $100 million go? So all of a sudden we learn that, and all these pledges of corporate dollars were going to this woman that.
Doesn't your stance on Kamala needing to reject the she's for they, them ad, contrary to your point about finding ways to message around 80-20 issues? No, it doesn't. Be more creative. Have a fucking brain. This is your job. Figure it out. It's politics. Do you give a fuck or do you not? If you think that trans athletes should exist, say, in high school, okay, and somebody wants to try to press you on the issue, and you know that it's the most politically unpopular position in the world, then think about another way to talk about it, right? Do you think that we should ban all trans athletes in high school? I think that individual schools should listen to their superintendent. I think that education should be left up to the individual schools. Parents should be able to vote on and decide on what they want. And that's it. And then you leave it alone. And that's it. Nobody can attack you on it. It's a good answer. You leave it the fuck alone. It's easy. Think about something. Think, use your fucking brain and figure it out. It doesn't have to be all or nothing on every single fucking issue. Or if it does, then fuck your democracy and we'll all be Nazis. At least we get cool uniforms.
That's like Governor.
We need to find a way to be a consultant for the Democratic Party. First of all, nobody will listen to me. And secondly, they have the consultants to tell them this. The intuitive feeling I have right now is the lacking part isn't in the ideas part. It's actually getting political figures that are willing to stand up for these things. Because believe it or not, political figures are highly sensitive to bad press. They really, 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 really don't like it when people on social media and everything are blowing them up. They're very sensitive to stuff like that. And you need to get some who are willing to, eat a little bit of hate, I guess, from people to demonstrate, some kind of backbone. But the Democratic Party just has none of these people. Dusty, you're so quick to toss people under the bus, but even our base Noam Chomsky came out and urged everyone to vote for Biden. Your bubbles are crazy. Okay.
Well, the respect that's happening right now in California public schools. But also, and I'm not trying to drill you on. I'm just being honest. Like, you could say that, but like maybe you should like convene a special session and say like, right? I appreciate the perspective. And back in the classroom,
I got 6 million kids. I got 1,050 school districts, the largest school system on the planet. No, but no excuse, because these things are important. And by the way, it's
like the issue is like I feel like on some of these issues, it's not even the thing itself that's bad. It's just the messaging that's bad too. Like, there's nothing wrong with a fucking privilege walk. There's nothing wrong with demonstrating. There are different ways you can be ahead of other people in life. But then the way that people message on it is just so fucking cringe. Like, I said this about the Z shit. Like, in my personal opinion, I think that in today's America, understanding concepts like microaggression is more important than understanding things like racism. In my personal opinion, it's relatively rare, or at least compared to the history of the United States, it's pretty rare that you're going to be confronted with just outright hardcore racism in the United States. But people that are like discriminatory or racist or sexist in a lot of like very minor ways, I think that is a far more pervasive problem. But we don't even have the language to talk about it anymore because the issue gets hijacked by insane fucking lunatics on like TikTok. And now the concept of like a microaggression or a safe space, which are concepts that we intuitively are aware of, but like we can't even talk about it with that language anymore because they've been so fucking destroyed by these lunatics on social media places, Like, people will say things like microaggression and safe spaces are the gayest thing in the world, and then they'll get home and they'll get nagged by their wife in ways that are microaggressive, and they'll be like, I just want to go hang out with the boys in their safe space. And then they'll turn on, you know, Fresh and Fit, which is basically gender studies. And so intuitively, like, they actually have like all the built-in mechanisms are there to understand all these things, but like the vocabulary and the messaging of the Democrats has gotten so fucked that we just can't even talk about any of it anymore. I want to go watch this. It's a good video to understand political theory or organizing principles. What is this? More links.
Out of Iowa, a surprise challenger, Democrat Nathan Sage, Marine, Army vet, mechanic, sports radio host, taking on scandal-ridden, corporate-funded Joni Ernst.
I never thought someone like me could run for Senate. When I was 5, my dad got arrested for a bounce check, $50. He was trying to pay for new school clothes for my sister and I. We grew up poor, but I still believed in this country. So I enlisted again and again. 8 years. Any place dad are spending damn want to be a part.
Why do I care about this? Okay, good job. Good luck. What is this? New Russian super weapons, which was most likely used for the first time in its potential to change the military rules of the game. Perhaps it is a modified version of missiles with swarming technology. This is Oslo, Norway, and it's a Rammstein concert. Here is the proof. Okay. Gavin Newsom, I was just informed Trump is deploying another 2,000 guards. To LA. The first 2,000, given no food or water. Only approximately 300 are deployed. The rest are sitting unused in federal buildings without orders. This isn't about public safety. It's about stroking a dangerous president's ego. This is reckless, pointless, and disrespectful to our troops. True. LAPD, what's this? The Pony Warriors. Oh, it seems kind of unhinged. Jesus. They overpass us. US. There's a flag. That's cute. This is a nice picture. Damn. In an unprecedented move, U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. removed all 17 members of the CDC's expert panel of vaccine advisors, citing conflicts of interest. Based. Destiny, it's upside down. Isn't the point of an upside down supposed to be like we're in distress or something? I just want to see more American flags. I don't care if they're upside down or not, okay? Oh, this is cringe.
Sorry.
Already saw this. This was memes. Seen this. I was not talking about you. Quick meme from last night.
We're not sure if he's either targeting the protesters or if he's one of them, but it appears, at least, that he is in some way unhinged. We're not sure.
Okay. Based. What is this?
Right, we have got. By the way, to understand how far right we have gotten, for the record, back in the day when Sex Pestany said, I don't care, white supremacists need to fucking mow down these like stupid Black Lives Matter protesters, he got fucking banned. He got de-verified. Asmongold can now be the largest content creator on the fucking platform and be like, yeah, they deserve it. To be fair, he's talking about the cops in this circumstance. We understand them as white supremacist force, but,
cringe.
And not like the non-state actors taking matters in their own hands. But even then, the results are the same. He will get no punishments for this. As a matter of fact, I'll probably get fucking banned before he does.
And nobody has anything happen. Like, there's never any consequences for these people. And so I'm really glad to see this happen. This guy trying to run away. Again, literally zero sympathy for these kinds of people. He's trying to run away from the police, etc. I don't give a shit. They're psychopaths. Well, there are people. The reason why these people are doing it, I'm off. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, no, you're right. The psychopath is certainly the people that are protesting ICE kidnapping other people, okay? Kidnapping their neighbors, kidnapping their community members, and not the fucking rat king who is covered in his own fucking filth and rot, sitting in the comfort of his fucking home, going, yeah, it's perfectly fine to trample over a taxpayer with horses. Yeah, it's based. Yeah. I'm really glad. Disgusting.
Okay. LA unrest live update. 700 Marines mobilized to support the National Guard as immigration protests continue. Around 300 National Guard members are in LA after President Donald Trump ordered the deployment of 2,000 troops in a move California Governor Gavin Newsom criticized as inflammatory. Willie Mac Show banned from Reddit after leftovers mods tell him to kill yourself. I'm banned for a DM I sent, but the only DM I sent was me saying I am Willie, and then this battered middle-aged woman got mad I made a tweet. I didn't even respond. These people make a post to me. I replied, Willie stays winning. I then got banned from the subreddit, whatever, with the reason being keep yourself safe. Seemed like a threat. You really got banned from Reddit? Banned 3 days for harassment. Hope Willie sees you are a simping little man. You're to Willie what he is to Epstein. Based.
Where'd we get the wires crossed? How'd the Pentagon put it on his schedule? We didn't. Possible.
Oh, that's how to do the West Wing thing. I saw witnesses an LAPD flashbang at the Los Angeles ICE protests.
I think they're going to push in from this side of the road. Oh, fuck. That fucked my hair up. Anyway, there. That was. Oh, Jesus Christ. There.
They're fucking. Wait, hold on. Oh, they were starting to walk. Yep.
LSF clip. Destiny says he would rather be a Nazi than align with communists. I said I'd rather be an honest Nazi than a fake communist. I'd also rather be an honest communist than a fake Nazi. Just don't lie about what you want to do politically. It's cringe. Did you see this take? It's in song form, but it's a serious take. Why the fuck would I watch something in song form? I'm good.
What's up? How y'all? What's your opinion on? What's going on? What's up? How y'all? What's your opinion on what's going on? What's your opinion on Pride Month? Is there a reason why y'all ICE raids is coming during Pride Month? Y'all look like some Halo troopers. Anybody with undocumented family? Do you plan on shooting people today? How lethal or non-lethal are these rounds? Would you rather shoot somebody or hit them with your stick? Oh yeah, how did you end up becoming ICE? Is this like a legacy career? Are you happy that Young Thug is free? What's the probability that we're gonna get tear gas tonight? What's your favorite thing to do? Shoot people with non-lethals or hit them with the baton? They don't really want to talk. Cats got their tongue. Are you in the JROTC?
Oh, there's a little one?
Oh, yeah, that nigga gonna shoot me later for sure.
Well, we got a man there with a dress coat, tennis shoes, tie, and a black hood over his head, right in front of the federal officers here on Temple.
All right, so yeah, we're right here. We're in front of the federal building downtown LA. You know, this is a building where a lot of people get held when apprehended by ICE, federal criminals. So far, like the whole city has kind of just been swarmed by ICE. So we have ICE coming in Compton, Paramount, Linwood, the fashion district here. The head of ICE just deployed the National Guard. So tomorrow we should see around 2,000 active duty fucking military niggas pulling up. The main reason why people are here is to protest these ICE raids by coming to where all the people are being held at. The cops are lined up. They're pointing their guns at me. They're flashing lights at me. I think they're getting ready to disperse the crowd. Maybe I can ask them something. I don't know. Let's see what some of these is.
It's not exactly swamp fest out here, huh?
Yeah, no, but I would still say it's pretty lit out here, but you good?
It stayed pretty peaceful until the sun went down, which is just kind of how LA rolls.
They are detaining people illegally, deporting people illegally without their due process.
Can you tell me like what's been going on all day?
A lot of tear gas.
Did you get tear gas?
I did. They're terrorizing U.S. citizens. What they're doing is not okay, and they didn't like that we were gathering, so they started trying to push us back.
Additionally, they seem to be doing, I don't like to use this term lightly, but like Gestapo-like tactics to disband people, essentially, and it's wrong.
They are sighting people with green lasers and shooting rubber bullets at them, so a couple people got popped.
There's snipers on the roof over there, and there's snipers on the second floor over there. I don't know if they're snipers. What kind of guns are these?
Oh, yeah, that's a sniper for sure.
Lots of people getting tear gassed, but, you know, it's LA, baby. We're strong as fuck.
We don't have guns. We're unarmed, and we're unafraid.
We're the violent ones, but look, all I got in my hands is water bottles when they got fucking guns.
These ICE agents are completely different from the LAPD. I've been protesting for over 10 years. It's a whole other fucking level of threat. It's a whole other level of crazy. I feel really sorry for the people who think they're the good guys. They have been brainwashed and indoctrinated and are now acting out, working at the highest level of hypocrisy you can as an American citizen.
We're civilians. You're supposed to protect us. Protect and serve. Get another job. Why don't you quit your piece of shit job? You are a terrorist. Terrorist! Put down your guns! Put down your guns! Put down your guns!
Are you gonna be out here tomorrow?
I am not sure yet. Tomorrow is also LA Pride, and I am of the queer community, so I might have to split my time or go with the biggest cause, which would be this.
It's fucked up. Why are they raiding people during Pride Month?
What's that?
Why are they raiding people during Pride Month?
Oh, who the fuck knows, man?
Fuck all your homophobia. Fuck all your racism. Fuck all your transphobia. Fuck all your xenophobia. Everyone go fuck yourself. Charlotte, if you're watching this, I love you.
Oh, yeah, that's your girlfriend?
Yeah, my trans girlfriend.
You're fucking up my Pride Month.
They're killing our fucking Pride Month. What the fuck? Fuck ice, bitch. Fuck ice, bitch. Fuck ice.
I got melted ice. I got melted ice. Melted ice. Any of you guys want some melted ice? I'm on TikTok Live, streaming to about 4,000 people.
Damn.
I've been out here since about like 3, I think.
Plan on being here tomorrow?
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, I'm going Pride tomorrow, and then I'm going to be over here.
We're out here protesting, man. We're out here protesting against these ICE raids. It's about human dignity and human rights. I don't know why the LAPD is out here when we're a sanctuary city.
It's a sanctuary city. I was part of the movement in Pomona, California to become one of the first sanctuary cities of the United States. But all it means is that we're not supposed to enforce immigration, and the police are not supposed to cooperate with ICE. We're supposed to make sure that our community and our hard workers and our children and our families are safe.
Makes me feel like shit. I don't know why we're living in a police state in my city. Everybody's affected by this. They could come for you next.
I wish they would find missing kids the same amount they will go after immigrants and everything. The fact that there are still missing kids being sex trafficked.
We're never getting another Democratic president. Holy fuck. Nothing. These people are fine. All the stuff that these people have been saying, I think this is fine. This is standard protest stuff. It's in night 1 too, so there's probably going to be your most chill, like most focused protesters. Nothing that these people say, nothing is wrong or cringe or horrible about any of these protesters. Chill, damn.
Human trafficking, but yet they don't give the same energy to these immigrants.
And you go after the criminals, man, the real criminals. Not the innocent, hardworking people, man. No criminals at Home Depot.
Yeah.
Just hardworking people out there. I'm scared for my family. I'm scared for other people's families. This shit isn't fair. You guys were our brothers and our sisters. What the fuck happened?
No one's a criminal on stolen land whatsoever. They're all Hispanic. So what did their parents have to do to sacrifice for them to do with that?
What happened to being a fucking kid growing up, thinking it would be fucking good, and then you fucking...
You think it'll escalate? How could it escalate? There's like a few dozen people here, less than 100. There's no way it'll escalate from this, right?
Grow up and you fucking represent the opposition, fucking represent the people that hate us. You're my fucking neighbor. You're my friend. Why? Why do you do this? Leave the fucking uniform and work for people, for human beings. You know this is wrong, Miranda. You know this is wrong. Get another job. Please, I implore you. Mayor Karen Bass, we need you here. You said you would be with your people. We are your people. I'm a native Angelino, and they are threatening us. They are terrorizing our community.
Is that what they call LA
Where
people?
Where is our mayor? Where is our mayor? Where is our mayor?
You go to Carver, nigga. I'm fake, nigga. I know you do, dog. I'll spit on your plate. I'll put my dick on your plate, nigga. Fuck your family. Fuck your kids, nigga. That's how it is. I can't sleep comfortably because of you.
He be fucking getting a whole fucking plate. He be fucking expecting us to give us a whole fucking shit. That nigga right there.
Do you go to Carver?
Yeah, you do, nigga. Stop playing. Yeah, you do. Nigga, act like I don't know your fucking face. Stop fucking playing. Fucking talking about, can I get a fucking discount? Can I get a fucking this? Can I get a fucking that? That nigga right there. Point that shit at him right there. Point that shit at there right there.
He doesn't look like he go to Carver, though.
You're going to know shit. Hell nah. Hell nah.
We ain't going to that Carver.
What's your favorite thing to order at Carver?
Everything.
Galar, we went to high school together. Remember? Algebra?
He's back up, bro.
We had algebra together. Oh shit, he gonna beat my ass. We had algebra together, and that nigga failed twice. Why is that guy on his phone? Shame on you, pigs! Shame on you, pigs! Shame on you, pigs! Looks like the cook is something up back there.
You guys forgot. We are.
Oh, now they behind us. All right, we getting surrounded. Kick rocks. Kick rocks. Get out of here, bitch ass cops. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. The halo-looking dudes are moving to the back, and the LAPD has moved to the front, safeguarding ICE. So LAPD has positioned themselves in front of ICE. LA is a sanctuary city, so LAPD shouldn't be here enforcing these policies. I think they're getting scared. I'm a little.
Just to be clear, because I keep saying this, LAPD isn't here to enforce immigration, but if you start attacking federal property, LAPD will show up, and they should show up, because if it's not going to be the LAPD, then there is a justification to call in federal officers or deploy the National Guard, right?
I'm a little skittish, man. Look, these niggas want to smack somebody so bad, man. I'm just a reporter. I'm just a reporter. Do you have any opinions on this? Are you guys allowed to have opinions? Is this like a hive mind type deal?
You gotta find a new job, dog, because you really know LA's about to go to flames, dog. You gotta find a new fucking job. Get another job.
Oh, shit, hold on.
What happened? Or keep the job. He's a little kid. He's a child.
Huh? I don't know what's going on. Oh, shit, what the fuck, nigga? Did someone just... That nigga just smacked me. What happened? Oh, look what's going on. What's going on? Oh, those zip ties. Those zip ties. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, we surrounded back. Who got bolt cutters? All right, hold on, babe.
Go, babe, go.
What are these guys doing? Wait.
Go, push her up.
I don't want to. Hold on, you got this. Oh, man. All right. I don't want to be. Hey. Nah, that nigga got you on the other side.
If you've never practiced climbing fences before, 1, climb near posts. Holy Christ. Or maybe, is there a post over there? Maybe. 2, be really careful for these fences that are open at the top, because if you're not getting all the way over and your leg gets caught and you lose your grip and you fall, this thing will fucking deglove like your entire lower leg, your whole calf. You gotta be super careful. Ugh.
You got it. Uh-oh.
Hey, pass me that mic, yeah? Hey.
This is unfortunate, man.
Hey, pass me this mic.
Hey, bro, pass me the mic.
Damn.
Yeah.
Why do you know so much about fence jumping? Because if you've ever played a neighborhood or run around neighborhoods, you got to know which fences you can get away with jumping over without the neighbors getting mad at you. And you got to get over them fast so they can't catch you.
Hey, pass me that mic, yeah?
All right.
Right here in front of the fence, yeah.
Yo.
Just say they're surrounding us. We gotta jump the fence.
Oh, yeah. So right now we got it surrounded. Everyone's jumping the fence so that we don't get fucking trapped and arrested, and we can come to fight tomorrow. You feel me? For our undocumented brothers and sisters. I'm fucking tired. That was a fucking bitch. It's very loose at the top. Barely got away. And yeah, the shit's not over. Fight's not over. Some niggas is going to jail tonight. Not us though.
Channel 5 Live Worldwide, Hollywood and Vine.
Fuck the authority. Channel 5 News.
Channel 55.
Okay.
Safety protections officers here. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, if I don't know what basis they used to make that decision, but if that was based on our what I delineated here about the perceived lack of response to a help call by an outside agency, that did not happen. We did respond with mobile field force configuration, and just to explain that, a mobile field force is a configuration of people or officers within the organization that we bring in from around the city. We declare a tactical alert so we can break them away from their primary duties of answering radio calls to be able to come in, form up. They're trained in this tactic into a configuration of 4 squads or a platoon that are led by a mobile field force leader. They then go 4 deep in the car and they drive into the impacted area, and that way they can safely go in a large group of officers and able to handle whatever they come across. If we were to send in a single unit or a couple of units into a riotous scene, certainly they'd be surrounded and the outcome would probably not be good. And so this is a configuration that has worked for us, developed here, worked for us for many years, but it doesn't happen instantaneously. So we have to call in units, we have to meet at a certain location, they get the information they need to operate in the environment, and then they go and they take care of business. And so that takes a little bit of time for us to be able to get in there in about 35 minutes is pretty much textbook. So while we'd love to be able to say we can get there in seconds or minutes, in the reality of a situation of civil unrest, we got to do it right, we got to do it safely for everybody involved.
Hold on. Go one at a time, please, and let's identify name and outlet.
Victor with Univision Chief, we have seen two kinds of groups, at least from Friday, Saturday, and today that have been working. The community that is enraged and they're not happy with the actions of ICE, and then the community that loots and attacks and destroys our city. What would be your direct message to both groups?
Yeah, to the people who are not happy with the fact that ICE is in the community doing what ICE does, I respect ICE for being a fellow law enforcement agency. They have their mission. They have their what they have to do. We don't engage in that activity, but again, we can't preclude them from doing that. They have every right to do that. I ask people in the community to trust the LAPD, that we're not there for that purpose, and that if they have something they need us to be able to address, we're there for them. As far as the big picture of what can I recommend they do or not do, that's something it's a federal issue, and the federal authorities have the right to be able to do what they're doing. As far as people worried about the violence that we're seeing, this violence that I've seen is disgusting. It's escalated now since the beginning of this incident. What we saw the first night was bad. What we've seen subsequent to that is getting increasingly worse and more violent. Tonight we had individuals out there shooting commercial-grade fireworks at our officers. That can kill you. And we have adapted our tactics to be able to have a chance to be able to take these people into custody and to be able to hold them accountable. We are overwhelmed as far as the number of people out there engaged in this type of activity and the type of things that they're doing. They'll take backpacks, and the backpack will have a cinder block in it. They have a hammer, and they'll break up the cinder block and use that, pass it around to throw at officers, to throw at cars, and throw at other people. We've seen people with hammers, and you've broadcasted, breaking the bollards behind the federal building and taking the rocks, if you will, or pieces of concrete, and throwing them at officers. We've had liquid of who knows what description thrown at officers. There's no limit to what they're doing to our officers. And again, as I mentioned in my statement, I can't thank our folks enough and our partner agency police officials for going out there and taking care of the community and trying to be able to put themselves between the threat and the overall community. And they do this night in and night out. And these past couple of nights, we've seen it at a level that I think disgusts every good person. Thank you, sir.
You just described some pretty violent and chaotic situations. What is your position on the National Guard being deployed? Do we need them here?
Well, it's an interesting question, because I would have said that we could handle this. I believe that we would have gone through a number of steps before we'd have deployed the National Guard or requested deployment of the National Guard. We would normally go to 50% deployment to handle radio calls and do the business of policing, and everybody else would be focused on the initial problem. Beyond that, then we would request through the sheriff mutual aid, and that would bring in members of the 44 other police departments in LA County as well as the sheriff's office. And so that didn't occur in this case because it wasn't done through the sheriff or through up through the normal chain. It was done from the top down, from the president directing that happened, and then the National Guard was federalized. So they're working for the U.S. Army, not for the California State National Guard.
Do we need them?
Do we need them? Well, looking at it tonight, this thing has gotten out of control. I think before I could answer that, I'd have to know more about what their capabilities are, what their role is intended to be able to make that determination. But we have great cops in Southern California here that work together all the time. So we have tremendous capability here. To say that we would go to that right away, I'd say we wouldn't have been there yet. Looking at the violence tonight, I think we got to make a reassessment.
Laurel, how has your department interacted with the National Guard, if at all, since they've been here?
I'd say very little, other than we had a conference call this afternoon. There aren't a whole lot of soldiers in place at this time. They're still incoming. But the people who are here, they're tremendous Americans here trying to do, they provide their service, doing the task that they're charged with. Our relationship has been tremendous overall with the National Guard. We worked right alongside them for 5 months during the Palisades fire. They were there every day in the beginning in large numbers, and then that narrowed down before they demobilized. But the relationship is overall tremendous. We're very, very good partners with them, and I hope they feel the same about us.
And when you look at the demonstrators who are people from the community who are upset about the immigration raids, families being broken up, deportations happening, do you feel any sense of kinship with them or about this situation, or do you see that there is need for more law enforcement and for more immigration enforcement in Los Angeles?
I think the federal agents are enforcing federal immigration law, which is their right, and anybody can have their personal opinion on to what level that should be, who should they focus on, and those kind of things. I won't take a position on that because really that's not our focus, not our job. But when I look at the people who are out there doing the violence, that's not the people that we see during the day who are legitimately out there exercising their First Amendment rights and to be able to express their feelings about the immigration enforcement issue. These are people who are all hooded up. They've got a hoodie on. They've got face masks on. They're people who do this all the time, get away with whatever they can, go out there, from one civil unrest situation to another, using the same or similar tactics frequently, and they are connected. Some would call them anarchists or by any other variety of names, but they're people that we run across.
Gavin Newsom is suing Donald Trump, I'm guessing for forcing the National Guard federalization, which I don't think he had the authority to do. Would be my guess.
Cross routinely city to city, and this is what they do. So even more disgusting that many of the people who are doing this come in from other places just to hurt people and to cause havoc.
Chief, that's Vanessa told me over here.
Okay.
Do you think that the presence of National Guard increased the level to this kind of situation? I mean, you said that it's disgusting. Do you think that if you control it without them, it's going to be a different situation?
You know, I don't know. That's a very interesting question. What was the catalyst for us seeing the second and third day of this becoming increasingly more violent? To be able to say it's because of the National Guard, I can't, because there aren't enough on the ground at this point to make a difference. I've seen civil unrest a number of times before, and generally the second and third days are more violent than the initial phase. And so this is not much different from that pattern. But certainly, I think there's a number of things that cause people to come out. Much of it is they watch this and see it on TV, social media, whatever social media outlets they follow, or asking them or telling them to come down and be part of this, and they do that. And they come out here, and many come out and just want to see what's going on. They're out there with their cameras, but they're putting themselves in harm's way and potentially setting themselves up for a criminal future. When you look at some of the things that are happening here, somebody could easily be killed. And if you're part of that, then you're going to be facing those charges as well. I talked to the DA just a couple of minutes ago, and the DA will file felony charges on individuals where it's appropriate, but won't be shy about doing that where it is appropriate. And also the potential for federal charges, given the type of environment we're in. And, you know, the federal authorities don't play. And so as we move forward, I think people will be surprised in some cases for what happens to their future.
Let's take 2 more questions. Anybody that hasn't asked already, go ahead. Thank you. Given the amount of officers that are here in downtown LA, how does that affect response time to other parts of the city?
Probably the tipping point that would make violent civil arrest permissible. If Republicans do their nationwide porn ban, then we get them.
Yeah. Thank you for that question. A great question. It was, how does the deployment of so many officers downtown or in any one part of the city affect our ability to provide police services citywide? It greatly impacts our ability because it pulls officers who would normally deployed in communities around the city of Los Angeles into one area in order to be able to address the threat that we're facing. And so other areas, when we go on tactical alert, that means we only handle radio calls of significant importance, meaning a violent crime in progress, calls that have to be answered right away. So the other calls get put on a queue and may not get handled for some time to come, and they're important to everyone who is a victim of any kind of a crime. And so when we go to tactical alert, we don't do it lightly, but in this case we did it very quickly because we needed additional resources right away to be able to help quell the violence. And that situation, as you can see tonight, has only gotten worse.
Chief, given what you said about not being informed so you could pre-stage for the incident that started this thing, and you said I believe that you spoke to the ICE director as well as our city participate, is there any effort being made for ICE to share information about what their next move is? Yeah, that's something that we did talk about, and there's no resolution to that. And the problem is that we are guided and bound by the California Values Act, which means that we can't participate in any way in civil immigration enforcement. So the federal partners have been reticent to provide information to us before something happens because of that reason. Part of that is they want to be respectful of the rules that we have to live by, but it also, on a normal situation, not that big a deal, but in a situation like we saw here in the past couple of days, it turns out to be a very big deal. So we're going to continue to work with the partners that I mentioned and many others as we go forward to try and be able to make things as safe for everybody as we can.
All right, Spectrum.
Chief, how many arrests so far?
Yes, Captain Raul Derval, Operations Central Bureau, Incident Commander. At least, this is very fluid and preliminary. At least 10 people arrested so far. There's arrests being made as we speak. About 3 officers injured. Unfortunately, very fortunate on very minor injuries, or I wouldn't say not minor, but.
Are the Marines or Guard allowed to use more force? I don't see how they will help without just doing the same thing the LAPD are. It's just about having more people if you're overwhelmed. But I mean, Newsom did make the request, so.
They're not significant enough to be transported to a local hospital. They were treated at the scene, but we're making more arrests as we speak. And we're trying to get into that posture where we're able to make arrests. Right now, really, our officers are really under attack. If you can see when the chief was talking about, we're trying to, first of all, ensure that our officers are safe and the public is safe. And then we'll move into, if we can arrest, we'll arrest, and then obviously protect the property and our vehicles and other things like that. But as of now, 10 arrests.
And if I could just jump on, and then 29.
But I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know if Marines are trained in like civil law enforcement or what that would even look like.
Last night as well. And so as we move forward, we will step up our arrest posture in order to hold people accountable and do what we can to stop this violence.
We're going to go 2 more questions.
Really quick, she has a question I have. How long does the expect this situation happen?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
How long do you think this situation is going to be?
Yeah, for me, again, that would be speculative to say how long that the members of ICE will be in town doing the enforcement actions they're doing. But by calling out the National Guard, oftentimes their deployment periods are in 30-day periods. And so, to me, it's going to be an extended period of time. I don't know how long that'll be. We're gearing up for that to be able to participate in a meaningful way as we move forward without exhausting our people beyond what they already are. We're a department that went through 5 months plus of the fires and dealing with the fallout from the fires. And as you can imagine, with a very limited-sized department to begin with, that's a big stress on our deployment, but more so on our people and their families. So as we move forward, we'll do everything we can to focus on employee wellness and to be able to offer whatever services we can to address the needs of our folks.
Sure. We'll go one more back there because he hasn't asked yet, and so Carmen, go ahead, and then one more, and then we're going to call it.
Two questions. One, is there a chance of instituting a curfew? And two, will you be going back and re-looking at any of these incidents and maybe
curfew question.
An opportunity for the rest of the time, but going back and trying to investigate who's responsible and potentially arresting after that?
No, thank you for the question. I spoke with the sheriff today, and we discussed the possibility of implementing a curfew. We don't rush into doing that, but if we need to do that, I'll go back with the sheriff and we'll look at the options as far as that goes. And as far as give me the second part of the question again.
For some of these incidents we watch unfold, a lot of people watch
I got you.
things just unfold in real time. Thinking, are any of these people going to be held accountable for this, or the cars on fire and things like that? Is there a chance of going back?
Absolutely. When you look at the numbers of arrests we've made, pale in comparison to what will be made. There are video accounts of what happened everywhere on social media, on individuals, cameras, iPhones. We will go after that very aggressively. Go after the all available video, analyze that video, and hold whoever we can accountable for the variety of different types of crimes that have been committed. And that's something we'll do with a number of different partners with levels of expertise that may be beyond what we have. No, thank you for that.
Tell me on what charges people were arrested yesterday and today.
Do you have the specifics?
So yesterday, the 29 folks were for failure to disperse. They were all arrested today. So today, so far, this is very preliminary because there's so much stuff going on. The stuff that we know is one person was arrested for throwing a Molotov cocktail at an officer, a significant incident, and then another individual for ramming a motorcycle into one of our line where the officers were and injured one of the officers. Everything else is still very fluid, and I won't have that for a while.
Was anyone arrested on the freeway or related to the freeway?
So CHP has made at least 17 arrests that I'm aware of in the freeway.
Wow. We'll start doing flag maps tomorrow for South America. Our new world flags. Print, genus, ring, book, family, slid, order, save, reserve, paste, goo, crew, amazing, request, syndicate, and quit. Never mind, fuck. Making like a reservation? Oh, fuck, reserve. Fuck, I fucked up. To book, to order, to request, and to reserve. Are these like Animal Kingdom things? Like a family, a genus, a... I don't think so. These are shortcuts. Save, quit, print, paste, or something. Keyboard shortcut commands. Genus, family, goo, crew, amazing, ring, syndicate, and slid. Jeez. Goo. Fuck. Crew, family. It's like crime stuff. Oh, crime family, crime ring, crime syndicate, and a crime crew? What is a crime crew? Okay. A crew? Okay. Amazing, genus, goo, and slid. The fuck is this? Spelling bee ranks minus a letter. Genius, good, amazing. E-slide? Oh, solid. Is a spelling bee rank a solid? You got a solid on that? What? Okay, I'll start reading again soon. Okay, I just my voice needs to fully recover. Okay, we'll get there. Okay, I love you. I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe even at 1 o'clock. Maybe. Be careful. We're going to cappuccino, my dude. I will catch you guys next stream right now. Be careful.